Was the International Geophysical Year a Cold War spy mission? Imagine a time when countries set aside their differences for a moment to focus on understanding our planet and beyond. That was the spirit of the International Geophysical Year, which took place from July 1957 to December 1958. It was a global effort involving about 67 countries working together to study Earth and space sciences. The goal was to learn more about our planet's atmosphere, oceans, ice sheets, and even space itself. It was a rare period of cooperation during the Cold War, a time when rivalry often overshadowed collaboration. Now, some people wonder if the IGY was more than just science. Could it have been a secret spy mission? Well, the truth is, the main purpose of the IGY was scientific. Countries wanted to share data and make discoveries, especially in the polar regions where little was known. It led to the creation of permanent research stations in Antarctica, helping scientists monitor climate and atmospheric changes. These stations also gave nations a presence in the icy continent, but their primary aim was peaceful research. However, the Cold War was in full swing during the IGY, and both the United States and the Soviet Union saw opportunities to showcase their technological prowess. For example, during the IGY, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite, in October 1957. This event marked the start of space exploration and had military implications because space technology was linked to missile development. The United States responded by launching its own satellites, like Explorer 1, in January 1958. These launches were part of the scientific efforts but also had strategic importance. While the IGY itself was not a spy mission, Cold War espionage was happening in other ways. The United States conducted reconnaissance flights over the Arctic and Soviet territories. They used planes and balloons to gather intelligence, sometimes disguised as weather or scientific missions. For example, Project Coldfee involved parachuting spies onto Soviet ice stations, and Project Genetrix used high-altitude balloons to spy over China and the Soviet Union. These covert operations were separate from the IGY but took advantage of the remote polar regions where scientific activities were also underway. In summary, the International Geophysical Year was mainly about scientific discovery and international cooperation. It was not a covert spy operation, even though the Cold War context meant that nations used the event to demonstrate their technological capabilities. The scientific achievements during the IGY, especially in space and polar research, had dual-use potential, influencing military and intelligence developments. But at its core, the IGY was a moment when countries focused on understanding our world together, even as espionage activities quietly continued in the background.